The room was dark when he opened his eyes. At first, he thought it was only a dream. The shadows moved on the walls like smoke, and the air felt heavy. Too heavy for midnight. He pushed himself up from the bed slowly. His head was still heavy from sleep, but something was wrong. His ears picked up a soft sound, a faint hum, almost like a low growl. He turned his head toward the door. It was locked. He frowned. He never locked it. He always left it open when he slept. A cold wave ran down his spine as his hand reached for the knob and twisted it. It did not move. And then he heard it, a voice, low, female, whispering, "You cannot leave." He froze. The words were calm but sharp, like a blade against his throat. His eyes darted toward the corner of the room. She was there, his alien roommate. Standing tall, her silhouette outlined by the dim blue glow of her skin. Her eyes burned, like twin moons, bright and unblinking. She stood between him and the door, her hands folded in front of her body, her face cold but strangely soft at the same time. "You can't go outside," she said again. "Not tonight." He swallowed hard, his mouth suddenly dry. "Why is the door locked?" he asked, his voice shaking a little. She tilted her head, her long silver hair sliding down her shoulders. Her eyes narrowed as if measuring his soul. "Because if you leave, you die." The words hit him like ice water. He stepped back, almost stumbling over the bed. "Die? What do you mean? What's outside?" Her lips pressed together. She didn't answer. She only moved closer, her bare feet silent on the floor. Each step she took made the air thicker, harder to breathe. He tried to stand firm, but his body tensed. He could not understand. Was she protecting him or threatening him? "Tell me what's happening," he demanded, trying to sound brave, though his heart hammered in his chest. Her eyes softened for a moment. She stopped right in front of him, so close he could feel the faint warmth radiating from her alien skin. She leaned her head slightly to the side and whispered, "Some doors must never open at night." The silence stretched. Only the sound of his heartbeat filled the room. Something scratched outside. His blood turned cold. The sound was sharp, like claws dragging against the wood. He jerked his head toward the door, but she placed her hand on his chest, stopping him. Her touch was firm, but trembling. "Do not move," she hissed, her glowing eyes locking onto his. "Do not speak. Do not make a sound." His breath caught in his throat. The scratching grew louder, circling the door, dragging, pausing, and then starting again. Something or someone was out there. He wanted to ask what it was, but her hand pressed harder against his chest, warning him to stay silent. Her face was close to his now, so close he could see tiny patterns shimmering under her skin, like galaxies trapped inside her. The scratching stopped. The silence returned. His muscles ached from standing so still. Finally, he whispered, almost too soft to hear, "Why me? Why are you keeping me here?" Her lips parted, and for the first time, he saw fear in her eyes. "Because they know you are human," she said, "and they want you." A chill swept through him. "Who?" he whispered. She shook her head, her hair brushing his face as she leaned closer, her voice like a shadow in the dark. "Don't ask. Don't ever ask. Just listen to me and survive." The door handle rattled. He jumped, his stomach twisting with fear. Something was trying to open it from the other side. His roommate's body pressed against his, shielding him, her breathing fast, sharp. Her glowing eyes locked on the handle, waiting. The rattling stopped. Silence again. She turned her face to him slowly. Her lips were inches from his ear as she whispered the words that froze him to his core. "If you step outside tonight, you will never come back." Asterisk, the night did not end after the rattling stopped. The human sat on the edge of the bed, wide awake, his heart still racing. His alien roommate stood near the door, her glowing eyes fixed on it like a soldier guarding. A battlefield. He thought about running past her, but something in her gaze froze him. It wasn't only strength, it was desperation. As if she wasn't guarding him, she was guarding the world from him dawn at last. She turned, her silver hair sliding over her shoulders. Her voice was calm again, but colder than before. You must. Follow the rules, she said. Rules? He repeated. What rules? What are you talking about? She walked slowly toward him, the faint blue glow from her skin lighting the room. Her steps were soft, but each one carried weight. She stopped right in front of him and raised her hand, showing her long, sharp fingers. Etched across her palm were thin scars like burns, as if she had paid the price for breaking her own laws. Rule 1, she whispered. You stay on the bed until I say otherwise. No exceptions? He frowned. That's insane. I can't just sit here all night like a prisoner. Her eyes narrowed, and for a moment her alien beauty twisted into something frightening. If you step on this floor without my word, they will hear you. A chill rippled through him. Who will hear me? She ignored the question. Her glowing hand moved closer to his face. The warmth from her skin made his throat dry. Rule 2, do not touch the window. Do not look through it. If you see the outside, it will see you. The way she said it made his stomach twist. Something unseen, something watching. He tried to laugh, to break the tension. You're telling me the window is dangerous now? You expect me to believe that? Her gaze darkened. She leaned down, her face inches from his. If you doubt me, open it. Let them take you. I will not stop them. He fell silent. She straightened herself, her glowing hair flowing like liquid light. Her tone softened, but it carried a warning. Under every word, Rule 3, do not speak a name that is not mine. Names have power here. If you call for anyone else, they will answer, and they will not be kind. He felt his mouth go dry again. His tongue wanted to test her words, but fear held it back. She stepped back finally, her eyes never leaving him. These are the rules. Obey them and you live. He clenched his fists. And if I don't? Her lips curled into something that was not quite a smile. Then the night will claim you. And I will not save you. The words burned in his chest. He hated feeling weak, trapped, treated like a child. But when he looked at her, the scars on her arms, the fear hiding under her glowing eyes, he knew she wasn't just playing a game. The silence stretched again. The scratching outside had stopped, but the air was heavy, full of invisible danger. Then a faint sound came, a whisper, soft, just beyond the window. His blood turned to ice as his ears caught it. It was his name, not spoken by her, not spoken by himself. But from outside, he shot his eyes toward the window, but her hand struck his chest, pinning him to the bed before he could move. Her glowing eyes burned with anger and fear. Rule 2, she hissed, do not look outside. His heart pounded. His name was still being whispered, dragging through the air, a voice he almost recognized. His mother's, his sister's, his best friend's. It was impossible. He clenched his teeth. They're calling me, he whispered. Her hand pressed harder, her nails digging lightly into his chest. It is not them. It is never them. The whispering grew louder. His name repeated, again and again, like fingers scratching inside his mind. He wanted to cover his ears, but her hand held him still. Stop it, he begged. She leaned closer, her forehead almost touching his. Her breath brushed against his lips as she whispered with deadly certainty, break the rules, and you won't. Survive until morning. The room went silent again. The whisper stopped as if cut with a knife. But in the silence, his body trembled, not from fear alone, but from the strange closeness of her. For a moment, her hand didn't leave his chest. For a moment, her glowing eyes softened. Then she pulled back suddenly, her face turning away. "Lie down," she ordered. "The night has just begun." He swallowed, unsure if he could obey. His instincts screamed to escape. But deep down, another question burned in his mind. Were the rules protecting him or trapping him? The rules stayed heavy in his mind, pressing down on him like chains. Stay on the bed. Don't touch the window. Don't speak another name. He sat upright against the wall, watching his alien roommate pace slowly near the door. Her glowing hair brushed against her shoulders, her eyes sharp, scanning the shadows as if they carried teeth. He wanted to speak, but her warning still burned in his chest. He stayed silent. Then it came, a soft tap on the glass. His heart froze. His eyes slid toward the window, even though her rules screamed in his memory not to look. Another tap, then a scrape. Slow, deliberate. He clenched his fists, trying to ignore it, but curiosity burned like fire. Who or what was outside? The alien moved faster than thought. She placed herself between him and the window, her glowing back facing him, her hair shining faintly in the darkness. "Do not move," she whispered. Her voice trembled. For the first time, he heard fear in her tone. The sound came again. A slow dragging noise, like a finger across glass. Then a second, then more. Claws dot his pulse thundered in his ears. His breath grew shallow. Something was out there. Then the voice came again. "Let me in." The words were soft, almost human, almost kind, but stretched, broken, as though the mouth speaking them was not built for human language. His throat went dry. His body leaned forward without thinking. The sound was familiar, like his sister's voice. "It's lying," the alien snapped, sensing his movement. "Do not answer." But the voice called again, this time clearer. "Brother, please." He froze. His sister's voice, exactly. Every syllable, every soft tone. The one voice he thought he'd never hear in this place, in this strange alien world. He shook his head. "That's her. That's my sister." The alien whirled around, her glowing eyes blazing. She pressed a finger against his lips, silencing him before another word could leave. Her touch was hot, trembling, almost desperate. "That is not your sister," she hissed. "It wears her voice like a mask." He pulled her hand away. His heart screamed otherwise. The voice outside grew louder. "Please, I'm cold. Open the door." His stomach twisted. His sister had said those same words to him as a child when she was scared at night. It was too real. Too perfect. "I have to," he began. But before he could finish, the alien shoved him back onto the bed with surprising force. She leaned over him, her hair falling across his face, her eyes blazing with fire. "You open that window," she growled, "and I will kill you myself before they take you." The room shook Dot, not from her words, but from something outside slamming against the glass. The whole wall trembled as if a giant hand pressed against it. The whispering voice turned into a guttural screech, twisting from human to monstrous in an instant. He covered his ears as the sound pierced through his skull. The alien pressed herself against him, shielding his body with hers. For the first time, he felt her shiver, not from cold, but from terror. The screech stopped. Silence returned. But the glass, it was cracking. Thin lines spreading like spider webs. His eyes widened. "It's breaking in." Her hand shot out, glowing brighter now, pressing against the window from across the room without touching it. The cracks stopped spreading, frozen in place. She chanted something under her breath, strange words, in a language his ears could barely hold. The light in her body grew brighter, her veins glowing like molten silver. Sweat rolled down her face as she struggled to keep the cracks from growing. Finally, the sound faded. The cracks stopped. The pressure lifted Dot. The night fell silent again. She dropped to her knees, gasping, her glowing dimming back to a faint shimmer. Her hair clung to her skin, wet from sweat. He rushed to her side, grabbing her shoulders. What was that? Her breathing was ragged. She lifted her eyes, glassy with exhaustion. A visitor, she whispered. They come every night. They want you because you are human. Your blood, your voice. It calls to them. He felt his stomach twist. Why me? What do they want with me? Her lips trembled as she leaned closer, her breath brushing against his cheek. Because you can give them what I cannot. His heart stopped. The words burned through him like fire. What do you mean? He asked, but her head fell forward onto his shoulder. She was trembling, her body weak, glowing faintly against him. And even as he held her, a new sound came, not from the door, not from the window dot from under the bed. A whisper, soft, wet, hungry. Meow, asterisk, the whisper crawled from beneath the bed. It wasn't like the voice outside the window. This one was closer, too close. It seeped into his ears like a drop of poison, soft and wet, as if the floor itself was breathing words. Wet. Meow, his blood froze. Slowly, he leaned forward, staring at the dark space under the bed. The air smelled strange now, damp, metallic, almost like old blood. He opened his mouth, but before he could speak, her hand gripped his arm like iron. Don't answer it, she hissed. Her glowing eyes were sharp again, though her body was weak from the struggle at the window. He swallowed hard, his throat dry. There's something under us, he whispered. Her face turned pale, her skin's glow flickering as though her strength was fading. Not something, she said quietly. Someone. One of them slipped inside. He stared at her, his chest tightening. Inside? You mean it's already here? Her silence was the only answer he needed. The voice came again, stretching. Longer this time. Let me out. The bed shook faintly. He jerked back against the wall. The alien forced herself to her feet, her body trembling, but her gaze locked on the floor. They're not supposed to cross this threshold, she muttered, her words breaking. The door keeps them out, the window resists them. But if one has found a way inside. She trailed off, her lips pressing into a thin line. The scratching began. Long nails raking across the wooden floor from beneath, like an animal clawing its way out of a cage. He couldn't stop himself. He leaned forward, whispering, "What happens if it gets free?" She looked at him, her glowing eyes softer now, almost mournful. "Then you won't be my roommate anymore. You'll be theirs." His chest tightened. He didn't know if she was warning him or admitting she cared. The scratching stopped. The silence was worse than the sound. His skin prickled as he realized the thing under the bed wasn't moving anymore, and then fingers slid out, thin, long, black as tar. They crept across the floor like shadows made flesh. The hand pressed against the floorboards, pushing, dragging itself forward. The alien shoved him back, standing between him and the creeping hand. She raised her arm, her skin glowing brighter again, though her body shook with the effort. Back. She commanded. Her voice was firm, but he could hear the strain. The hand froze. The fingers curled and uncurled slowly, like a spider testing its prey. Then it retreated, sliding back under the bed, vanishing into the dark. He let out a shaky breath. It's gone. But her expression didn't ease. Her jaw tightened. No, it's waiting. It won't leave now, not until sunrise. The air felt heavier, thicker. The bed itself seemed colder beneath him. He wrapped his arms around himself, feeling trapped. "Why are they after me?" he asked, his voice breaking. "What do they want from me?" She didn't answer right away. Her glowing eyes softened as she turned toward him, stepping closer until her shadow touched his. "Because you are human," she whispered. "Your kind is rare in this world. They crave your breath, your warmth, your life. To them, you are fire in the dark. Her hand reached out, trembling, and brushed lightly against his jaw. That's why I keep you here. Not just because of rules, but because if they take you, She stopped, her voice breaking, her hand pulling away quickly. He leaned forward slightly, but before he could speak, the bed rattled hard beneath them. The voice rose again, but it was no longer soft. It was sharp, angry. Let me out. The mattress lifted for a moment, as if something huge pressed upward from beneath. He stumbled back, his heart slamming in his chest. The alien threw herself onto the bed, pressing her glowing hands against it, whispering words in her language, sealing it down with sheer force. Her body shone brighter, veins glowing like molten silver, but her scream of pain filled the room as the force below pushed back harder. He didn't know what to do. His fists clenched, his body frozen. The entire bed shook violently, the wood groaning under pressure, and then the whisper turned into a laugh, low, cruel, familiar. His eyes widened as the laugh changed shape, becoming his own voice. From under the bed, it was him speaking. Come down here. Join me. His blood went cold. He staggered back, pressing against the wall, his breath coming in sharp bursts. The alien looked at him, her glowing eyes burning, her face pale with strain. It's using your voice now, she gasped. If you answer, if you even speak back to it, you will trade places. The laughter from under the bed grew louder, echoing like a mirror mocking him, and then the bed cracked. The crack in the bed spread like lightning, wood splitting under invisible weight. Dust drifted into the air. The sound of his own voice echoed from below, twisted with laughter. Come closer. You belong down here. He pressed himself against the wall, shaking. The alien knelt on the bed, her glowing hands burning against the wood, sealing it with every ounce of strength she had. Her hair stuck to her face with sweat, her body trembling. She was losing, her glowing eyes lifted, locking onto his. Help me, she whispered. He froze. What can I do? Her voice broke, trembling but sharp. Touch me, give me your warmth. I can't hold it alone. For a moment he couldn't breathe. Touch her? That had been the unspoken barrier between them since the first night they met. Her glow, her alien body, her strict rules. And now she was asking him to break all of that. The crack widened. The laughter below deepened, a perfect copy of his own voice mocking him. Touch her. Yes. That's what you want, isn't it? He clenched his fists. His skin crawled. The monster under the bed was pulling his thoughts, his desires, into the open. The alien gasped, her body jerking as if the bed's weight was pressing through her. Now, she cried. He leapt forward without thinking. His hand gripped her arm. Her skin burned hot, not with fever but with power, energy flowing like fire. His breath caught in his throat. Her flesh was soft but alive, pulsing faintly under his touch, like holding a heartbeat outside the body. Her glow exploded brighter. The cracks slowed. The wood stopped splitting. The laughter faltered, but something else happened too. She gasped, not from pain, but from something deeper. Her glowing eyes widened, and for the first time, she looked fragile, vulnerable. Her free hand shot forward, pressing against his chest, not to push him away, but to steady herself. Her body shook against his, their closeness electric, dangerous. You shouldn't, she whispered. Her voice trembled, torn between warning and wanting. Humans weren't meant to touch us. It changes things. His throat tightened, then let go. Her eyes searched his face. I can't. For a heartbeat, the danger outside seemed distant. It was just the two of them, his hand gripping her arm, her palm pressed to his chest, both of them locked in something forbidden. His skin tingled, his pulse racing. The monster below laughed again. Yes, yes, feed me more. The moment shattered. The alien's glow flared violently, her power surging through him. He felt it burn his veins, a heat that made him gasp. For a second, he swore he saw flashes in his mind, her memories. A battlefield, blood, her kneeling beside another human. One who didn't survive. The vision broke. He staggered back, his hand slipping away from her arm. She fell forward onto the bed, panting, trembling. The laughter below fell silent. The crack sealed itself slowly, the bed groaning one last time before becoming still. Silence filled the room again. He stood frozen, staring at her glowing body sprawled across the bed. She pushed herself up slowly, her hair falling across her face, her breath ragged. Her eyes, when they met his, were no longer sharp, no longer guarded. They were pleading. "You weren't supposed to see that," she whispered. "Now you'll..." "Now too much." His mouth went dry. "What did I see?" Her lips parted as if to answer, but a sound cut her off. The door. The locked door rattled violently, harder than before. Something slammed into it, again and again, shaking the whole room. Dust fell from the ceiling. Her head whipped toward it, her body tensing. No, not them. Not yet. The handle twisted. Slowly, his stomach flipped. The lock was. Turning, her glowing hand grabbed his wrist with sudden force, pulling him close. Her voice was sharp, almost breaking. "Whatever happens next, don't let go of me." The lock clicked. Asterisk. The lock clicked. The sound was louder than thunder in the silence. His chest tightened as the metal knob turned by itself, slow and steady. Like an invisible hand twisting it from the other side, he grabbed the alien's wrist, his breath short. Her glowing eyes didn't leave the door. "Stay behind me," she whispered. The knob turned fully. The door creaked open an inch. Then, another. Darkness stretched beyond it, blacker than night. Something stepped inside. Not footsteps, just weight. A shadow oozed across the floor like liquid smoke, thick and heavy, rolling into the room. The air dropped cold instantly, so cold he could see his breath. The alien's glow brightened, her veins shining like molten silver under her skin. She raised her hand, standing tall, shielding him. "You weren't invited," she hissed, the shadow stilled. And then it spoke, not with one voice, but with many, layers of whispers overlapping. Men, women, children, some voices familiar, some strangers, all speaking at once. "Give us the human." His blood ran cold. His knees trembled. The alien spread her arms wider, her glow pushing back against the dark. "You can't have him." The whispers grew sharper. "You've kept him long enough. The deal is broken. He is ours." Deal. His mind spun. He grabbed her arm. "What deal?" he demanded. She didn't look at him. Her eyes stayed fixed on the shadow, her jaw clenched. "This is not the time." The shadow surged forward, slamming against her glow. The walls shook. The bed rattled. The floor groaned under the weight of the clash. Her body trembled, but she stood her ground, her glow flaring brighter, pushing the darkness back inch by inch. "Answer me," he shouted. "What deal?" Her breath came hard, her glow flickering under the strain. At last, she turned her face to him. Her glowing eyes softened, filled with something that looked like shame. "I was sent to keep you here," she said, her voice breaking. "To guard you, to keep you alive, until they came for you." The words hit him like a knife. His chest tightened, his throat dry. "Guard me for them?" "You were helping them?" Her lips trembled. "At first, yes." His fists clenched. Anger boiled inside him. But before he could speak, she stepped closer, her voice rising over the screaming whispers. "But then I saw you. You're not like the others. You're different. I couldn't give you to them. So I broke the deal." The shadows screamed louder, slamming into the walls, shaking the floor. Her glow flared like a shield, but cracks spread through it like glass under pressure. His heart pounded. Her betrayal burned, but her trembling body, the desperation in her voice, stopped him from pulling away. "You were supposed to be theirs," she whispered, tears glowing faintly on her cheeks. "But I chose to keep you. And now they want to tear us both apart." The shadows surged again. A hand of pure dark slammed against her shield, sending her stumbling back into his chest. His arms caught her instinctively, her body shaking, hot with light. "Tell me why," he shouted, gripping her shoulders. "Why risk yourself for me?" Her glowing eyes lifted to his, her voice breaking into raw honesty. "Because the first time you looked at me, you didn't see a weapon. You didn't see a monster. You just saw me." The shadow's hand struck again. Her glow shattered like broken glass. The cold rushed into the room, wrapping around them both. She gasped, falling into him, her body dimming, her light fading fast. The whispers roared now, deafening. "Give him to us, or join him in the dark." He held her tight, his mind spinning, the truth cutting deep. She wasn't just protecting him out of duty. She had chosen him. Chosen to betray her own kind for him, but the shadow was stronger. Its hands reached out, long and endless, wrapping around the bed, the walls, reaching for him. She pressed her lips close to his ear, her voice trembling. "If they take you, it's over. If you want to live, kiss me, now." His eyes widened. "What?" Her glowing fingers curled around his face, pulling him close, desperate. "My kind combined a human with touch, with breath, with lips. If you let me, I can make you untouchable to them. But it will change you forever." The shadow screamed. The door blew open wider, black spilling inside like a storm dot. Her lips hovered inches from his. Her eyes burned, desperate, pleading. "Choose. Human, mirror them." The darkness lunged. The black storm of shadows rushed into the room, tearing at the walls, shaking the floor. The whispers screamed, thousands of voices overlapping, demanding, begging, cursing. "Give him to us. Give him." He clutched the alien tight. Her glow flickered weakly, dimming with every second. She looked fragile now, her silver hair clinging to her face, her lips trembling. "Kiss me," she whispered again. "It's the only way." His heart slammed in his chest. His mind spun. A kiss? Was this survival or a trap? The shadows reached out, long hands stretching toward him. Cold fingers brushed his arm, burning like ice. He yanked away, panic rising. Her glowing hand cupped his face, forcing his eyes back to hers. They were bright, desperate, glowing with fear and hope all at once. "If you don't let me bind you, they'll drag you into the dark, forever." "Bind me how?" he demanded. Her lips trembled. "With me, with my life, with everything I am. You'll never be the same, but you'll live." The shadows screamed louder, clawing against the floor, the bed, the ceiling. The entire room bent under their weight. His name echoed from them in his own voice, again and again, mocking, demanding. He wanted to fight, to run, but there was nowhere left, and she was all he had. He pulled her close. Their lips met. The moment exploded. Her glow surged into him, flooding his veins with heat and fire. His body convulsed as her light burned inside, searing every nerve. He gasped against her mouth, but she held him tighter, her trembling body pressing into his, pouring her strength into him. The shadows screamed, recoiling, their long hands snapping back like broken whips. The room shook violently as her light grew brighter, brighter, until it burned through the darkness like a star. For a moment's silence, he staggered, pulling back. His breath came sharp, his body shook with strange new energy. His skin felt alive, glowing faintly where she had touched. What did you do to me? He whispered. Her glowing eyes softened. I made you mine and untouchable to them. The shadows hissed in rage, retreating toward the open door, swirling and twisting like smoke in the wind. But as they pulled back one, voice rose above the rest. You cannot keep him. Humans never belong to you. He will choose and he will leave. The door slammed shut. Silence. He fell back against the wall, his chest heaving. She collapsed into his arms, her glow faint. Weak, but alive. He held her close, their breaths mingling in the quiet aftermath. For a moment, he thought it was over. Then she spoke, her voice low and trembling. Now you know the truth. You're bound to me. You can survive the night. But when morning comes, you must decide. He frowned. Decide what? Her glowing eyes lifted, fragile, almost breaking. Whether you'll walk out that door and never look back, or stay here with me forever. The weight of her words hit him hard. Freedom or her, his world or this strange bond. He looked at the door. The lock was broken. It stood waiting, wide open now, no longer keeping him inside. The first faint rays of dawn crept through the window, spilling pale light across the room. Her body trembled in his arms. She had given him everything, her power, her secret, her trust. Thought he could leave, walk into the light, be free, or stay, and belong to her in ways he didn't even understand yet. The silence stretched. His heart pounded. He stepped toward the door. The morning light touched his face. Her voice broke behind. Human, don't leave me alone. He froze. One step would change everything.